The JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 86. Get Real, episode number 20. The only weight loss plan that works. Hello, welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the kick-ass, the amazing Inner Self diet. It is the diet that is not a diet. It is the diet that works every time because it's not a food diet and it is not an exercise program, and it heals the core root of why you can't stop binge eating, why you can't stop emotional eating, why you can't stop overeating, why you can't stop stuffing yourself, why you can't stop being obsessed with food, obsessed with the scale, afraid of food, afraid of always being fat. It's oh my gosh, so many things that are running on the inside of you that are stopping you right now from just doing what you already know you need to do to drop the fat and keep it off. You see, what you need is you need a healing, and you need to heal your inner self, and you've got to get the right inner self programming running within your subconscious, okay, and within your conscious too. Once you have the right inner self programming running, then it's not going to be any big deal to do the physical things that you need to do to lose weight and keep it off, all right? Now, that does mean that your emotional eating, binge eating, yo-yo dieting, compulsive overeating, food addictions, all that stuff, it's got to be healed so that you don't have a struggle. Do you know what I'm saying? Is this making sense? Are you getting it? Okay, the thing is that there's no food diet on the planet that can ever fix what's stopping you from losing weight and keeping it off, because your problem, and everybody who's struggling with food and weight, their problem also, your problem is not the food, it's what you do with the food. And the reason that you do what you do with the food is because you haven't gotten the right inner self programming. You have not healed the root of the real problem. It's an internal thing, okay? And that's the work that I do with my amazing coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. Hey, why don't you head on over to www.mypodcastbonus.com. That's www.mypodcastbonus.com. And while you're there, sign up for my free 5-day e-course. It will help you discover what has really been stopping you from losing weight for good, and also what you can do about it. And you can get that at www.mypodcastbonus.com. So, today's episode is Get Real, episode number 20. All right, since I started the JoLynn Braley Show the first Thursday of January 2013, I've been doing one Get Real episode per month, and the Get Real episodes are a little bit more direct, they're a little bit more hard-hitting, and I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you, you will not like this if you're not willing to get real with yourself. Okay? The thing is that you've got to get real with yourself. You got to stop lying to yourself. You've got to stop deluding yourself. You've got to stop living in denial and living in Tomorrowland, living in Someday-ville, living in Stuckville. If you're ever going to drop that extra fat and keep it off for the rest of your life. Okay? Time is ticking here. Nothing is changing if you are not changing yourself. And what really needs to change is your inner self. It's an inner game issue. Okay? The truth is, weight loss in and of itself is not rocket science. It is not any big deal. You just have to do it. And that's the problem that you've got. And please understand, I have totally been there. Okay? I totally get it. And I have struggled with the binge eating, the emotional eating, the food addictions, the food obsessions, all kinds of stuff, all that stuff. I cannot say I was ever a binge purger. I've not ever done that. I have not ever been anorexic. I've just eaten too much, and made excuses and didn't take full responsibility for myself. Okay? But I understand what it's like, but the thing is that as long as you stay in no man's land, as long as you stay in tomorrowville and someday land where you keep telling yourself, oh, someday I'll get it together, or Monday. Oh, that's a big one. Monday will finally be the day I'm really going to do it. I don't need this podcast. I don't have an inner self problem. I'm just fine. But it's the weekend, so I'm going to eat whatever the hell I want, and then I will change on Monday. Oh yeah, I did tell myself last Monday that I was going to do that, didn't I? And the Monday before that, and the Monday before that. Well, if I really got real with myself, I've been doing this for 5 years, 20 years, maybe 30 years. Yeah, well, I've had this problem since I was a kid. I was like 7. I've never been at my fittest weight and stayed there. It's always been a struggle. I just can't stop eating, and but I'll do it on Monday. Boy, oh boy. I know what that's like, but and like I said, I'm warning you right now. Exit this podcast if you want to stay in your comfort zone, which breeds your comfort zone breeds more struggle. Your comfort zone makes it easy for you to stay fat. It's easy to keep eating. It's easy to hit the drive-through. It's easy to run on over to the grocery store and hit that big time. Get all that frozen food, hit the bakery section. It's easy to do that. All right? It can also be easy to choose the apple instead. Okay? The problem is, and the solution is, what is going on inside of you. You've got to get the healthy, the fit, the positive, the awesome inner self programming. That's what I do with my coaching clients. I don't do food diets with my coaching clients. I'm a certified master NLP practitioner. That means it has to do, my skill is with beliefs, mindset, thoughts, the inner world, what's going on inside of you. That is the real problem, okay? I'm certified master in this work that I do. I'm also a certified master consciousness shifting coach. Okay, so you're not hearing food in that, are you? Also, law of attraction coach, regular coach, all I've got so many certifications, it's not funny. But you know what? None of that would matter if I couldn't help my clients get the results they get. Hey, if you want to get inspired by some of the awesome people that I've coached over the years, I've been a professional coach since 2009. The work I do works every time, as long as you work it, as long as you do it. It doesn't work for anybody who doesn't do it. But just like your car sitting in your driveway right now, if you don't pick up your car keys, and if you don't open that car door, either with a key or with a little fobby thing, little beep beep, whatever, if you don't open the door, if you don't put the key in the ignition, if you don't turn it on, if you don't put the car in gear and put your foot on the pedal, car's not going to take you anywhere. It's not going to work. But if you don't do those things, does that mean that there's something wrong with the car? No, it's that you're not using it. So the work I do, it's amazing. At least that's what my clients tell me, and that's what I know too from using it myself. I also know the other side. When I haven't used my own work myself, it's really easy to go eat a bunch of bullshit processed food. And I say bullshit processed food because it's really crappy food. Now, it would be good in an emergency. Processed food has its place. If there were some kind of an emergency, like let's say that you're driving your car and you live out in Colorado and your car goes in a ditch and you're in a snowbank and you're stranded and you're waiting for rescue. If you've got a bunch of processed food in your car, great, because that stuff isn't going to spoil. It give you something to eat. But like in that example, in that context, that is a great place to have processed food. Okay? But on a day-to-day basis, it'll make you fat. Do you remember who Jack LaLanne was? You can look him up online. He used to say, if man made it, don't eat it. I agree. So, anyway, you got to get the right inner self programming. You have to heal your inner self so that you can do what I'm about to share with you is the only weight loss plan that works. Because what I'm about to share with you on today's weight loss podcast, free weight loss podcast episode here on the JoLynn Braley Show, it's probably nothing new to you. If you're like me and like my awesome coaching clients, they already know what they need to do to lose weight. They're not able to do it. They're not able to get started. They're not able to keep going. They're not able to stick with it. They're not able to keep it flowing, And that is an inner self problem. Fix that, heal that, and it doesn't take long when you're working with the right coach. All right? When you've got the steps that are already put together, you just have to follow them, you do them. It's pretty darn cool. Pretty cool shit. You have to heal the real problem. Are you getting what I'm saying? Is this making sense? Do you get it? If you don't get it, then look at the results you've gotten so far by only looking for food diets and exercise tips. What do you weigh? What's your size? What kind of relationship do you have with food? Actually, these are great questions for today's podcast episode. Normally I do these towards the end, but let's just do them now. All right? Grab pen and paper. You want to write each question down and then write your answer down, because there's a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper, and you don't get that connection if you type on a keyboard. You don't get that connection if you just listen to my voice. So you could pause the podcast, get pen and paper, and the line of thought here, the topic is, if you have any doubt that what I'm saying is true, and actually what I'm saying is true, it's 92.8% an inner self problem and an inner self solution if you want to lose weight and keep it off and have it be struggle-free. Struggle-free doesn't mean you don't do anything. Struggle-free means that you're not sabotaging yourself anymore. You're not getting in your own way. There is stuff you have to do to drop the fat and keep it off. But when you're not fighting yourself and you're not, you don't have like a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, when that devil isn't pulling you to eat all the stuff that makes you fat, when that's gone, then it's struggle-free. Okay? So these questions that I'm about to give you, they are to help you gain clarity that what I'm sharing with you is the truth. And it's not my truth. It's, look at anyone who look at Dr. Maxwell Maltz. Look at Tony Robbins. I mean, look at anybody who is anyone in the field of success and psychology. It doesn't matter what topic you're talking about. If you don't have the right inner game, then you're not going to succeed. I mean, let's do these questions now, because I was just about to give you another one. Okay, first question. How many years have I been struggling with overeating and overweight? How many years have I been struggling with this topic? So the easiest way to figure this out is just go back to your first time when you started struggling, and you might not have even been overweight, just like me. I was 7. I was a skinny kid. But I was sitting in the front seat of my parents' car. It was summertime. I had on a pair of little red shorts. I sat down and I looked down at my thighs, and any person on this planet, if you sit down, your thighs will spread out a little bit, you know? And I remember thinking, I looked at my thighs and I thought, I am fat. That's where it all started. I was not fat. I thought I was. And I kept thinking that, and eventually I was fat. Especially after I graduated high school, I gained a lot of weight. And then that's where the physical manifestation began. But it started when I was 7. And so if you're like me, or you could have been a kid and you were overweight, right? And your parents told you, or your mom told you, or somebody said you need to go to fat camp. Okay, it's pretty easy to figure this out. You know, you started doubting yourself. You thought you weren't good enough. You thought your body wasn't right. And so whatever age you were, so take your pen and paper, write down your age now, and then underneath that, write the number of the age you were when you first started struggling. Subtract the 2, get that number underneath, circle it. That's how old this problem is that you have. That's how long you've been struggling. So there you answered the first question for yourself. How many years have I been struggling with this food and weight topic? Number 2 question. How many food diets and exercise programs have I done? In fact, instead of just writing down, well, write down the number, but then list them all out, all the different names. I hear unending lists when I ask my coaching clients this question. All kinds of different stuff. Some of them I've never even heard of. All kinds of things, ranging from the diets to the diet pills. I've even had coaching clients who had had weight loss surgery. That doesn't work either if you don't fix the real problem, which is within you. It has to do with your attitude, your mindset, your beliefs, how you show up in life. It's all what's your inner game. That's what it's all about. 92.8% of it. 7.2% is the physical game, which I still am going to share with you. The only weight loss plan that works, I'm going to share that with you, which I'm sharing the 7.2% when I talk about that. I'm going to get to that. Okay, so write down everything you've ever done. Number 3 question. Did any of these food diets or exercise programs that I just wrote down, did they fix my struggle? Did they fix my overeating, my binge eating, my emotional eating, my self-doubts, my fears of food, my fears that if I eat one cookie, I can't stop, I have to eat the whole box, you know, my fears of weighing myself. You know how many people, and I've had clients like this too, who couldn't even tell me what they weighed because they hadn't weighed themselves for a year. And so they were just avoiding the whole thing. You know how easy it is to keep gaining weight when you do that? They were too afraid. I had a client who was afraid no matter what the scale would say. It didn't matter. If there was a gain or a loss, it was still bad. There's all kinds of different problems that are holding you back from losing weight and keeping it off. I don't know what yours are unless I'm working with you personally, but this is, these questions are to help you just gain some awareness, because otherwise, if you don't gain this awareness, if you don't get real with yourself, life just keeps going and you don't get anywhere with this problem. You might keep going to work, you keep getting a paycheck, but you're not happy with your body that you drag to work with you every day. You're not happy when you take that body on a cruise or to the beach in Mexico or walking up the Eiffel Tower in France if you're able to do that walk. It's pretty intense. When I did it, that was a while ago. And they didn't let you go all the way to the top. But, you take your body with you everywhere. If you're unhappy with it, then you're taking unhappiness with you everywhere. maybe you'd want to fix that problem. Okay, so that question, again, the number 3 question, did any of these food and exercise programs that I've done, did they fix the real problem? Did they end my food and weight struggles so that I could just, lose the weight and keep it off? Number 4 question, is my main focus still a food diet? You're asking all these questions of yourself. Is my main focus still a food diet? Am I out there constantly looking for celebrity diet tips or the latest diet fad or what Dr. Oz says, I should eat this, I shouldn't eat that, oh boy, I should eat this, but I really hate it, but I'll eat it because it's supposed to make me lose weight. Oh, here's this new diet pill or this new plant that came from South America and it's supposed to help me lose weight while I still eat pizza. Is my main focus still on the food and or exercise? Number 5 question, what am I doing to heal my inner self? What am I doing to heal my inner self so that I can finally just, geez, oh Pete's, end this struggle so that I can just live healthy and fit, live that lifestyle, a healthy and fit lifestyle, to drop the fat and keep it off. Are we on number 5 or number 6? I've lost count. Last question. Who's helping me? Who's in my corner? Who do I have in my corner? Who's my professional coach? You can't rely on a relative or a friend. They're not going to tell you the truth. Haven't you already experienced that? I've got some relatives who say to me, oh, you're fine, JoLynn, you're fine. They don't want to hurt your feelings. Who is my professional coach? Who is helping me get accountable and stay accountable? Who is helping me get real with myself? Who's helping me to really look at myself and see and look at the things that I can't even see because they are blind spots? That is a real danger point. Because there's a lot of people out there who listen to my podcast and they probably think that, oh, well, this is great. I'm just going to go heal my inner self. The problem with that, and you might be able to get, some progress, okay? There's definitely things you could do to have some kind of progress. But when you're working with a professional coach who has the system that works, and I'm the only one that has the inner self diet, nobody else has the inner self diet, when you are working personally with that coach and they can see what is in your way, things that you can't see, those are your blind spots, and you're never going to be able to see your blind spots because they are blind to you. And all of us have blind spots. I have them too. That's why I still get coaching. So who's my coach? Who's helping me here? Who's helping me get this done as fast as possible? That's the other thing about coaching, is that you can get this stuff done fast. Get out of your own way so that then you can do the only weight loss plan that works. So this podcast episode is a little bit, normally I would have shared the only weight loss plan that works. I would have shared the topic with you up front, and then I would have done the questions with you, but we did a little bit the other way, and that's okay. We did it the other way, and that is okay. So what is the only weight loss plan that works? What is it? A healthy lifestyle. That's it. There is no trick to this. There is no magic. And here's a get real moment for you. I think that fairy tales can be damaging. When we read these fairy tales, or fairy tales are read to us when we're a kid, and it puts in your head that somebody's coming to save you, that there's some kind of magic, that there's like a magical trick or a solution. Here is the magic to permanent weight loss. It's a healthy lifestyle. All right? There is no diet, food diet, the inner self diet, that's different. That's not a food diet. There's no food diet that is going to give you permanent weight loss. Why? Because a food diet has a beginning and it has an end. And you can't wait to get to that end. And so you can see that number on the scale. And then let's get back to eating that stuff that I've been missing the whole time that I've been doing this diet. That's not a healthy lifestyle. It'll never work. Look at your results. Look at your history. Has it ever worked? So the only weight loss plan that works is living a healthy lifestyle. All right? And there's several components of that. The physical side of things. Now remember, the physical side of a healthy lifestyle is only 7.2% of the equation. 92.8% of the equation of a healthy lifestyle is your inner world. If you're leaving that part out, the 7.2% is going to be either impossible or a major ass struggle, and then it's not a healthy lifestyle. You're not going to be able to do it because it'll feel like a diet to you. And it won't work. It won't give you permanent weight loss. It won't work. So when you're living a healthy lifestyle, okay, you're drinking, here's the overall things that you need to be doing in a healthy lifestyle. You got to be drinking enough water every day, clean water, not soda or flavored water. It's clean water. I go for 100 ounces every day. That's a lot of water. That's my main gig. Now I also do drink tea. And I have a soda that I like to drink. But the water comes first. So anything that else beyond the water's always first. You got to make sure you get enough sleep at night and the right kind of sleep. You got to have deep sleep, restful sleep. If you're getting by on 5 or 6 hours every night, that's a big problem. Your body is not going to release the fat like it could if you were getting the deep sleep and enough sleep every single night as a lifestyle. Okay? Eat whole foods, which means you got to cook. Okay? Processed food will make you fat. Made me fat, it'll make you fat too. It slows down your metabolism. It gunks up the system. Remember what Jack LaLanne said? If man made it, don't eat it. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be a vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian. That means I have to cook. And you got to use portion control. Okay, there can't be any emotional eating, binge eating. None of that is part of a healthy lifestyle. Because if you're not using portion control and you're just aiming to stuff yourself, even if it's healthy food, you're not going to release any fat then. You're not going to drop the weight that you want to. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? And it's very helpful to eat very small meals all throughout the day. Eat a protein with every meal. I always eat my protein first. Which means you got to pack food and take it with you. You got to be prepared. You got to plan ahead. This is a lifestyle, though. This is a lifestyle. This is not a diet I'm talking about. And I said portion control. Oh, regular exercise, cardio, minimum 5 days a week. Upper body strength training, whether you go to a gym or you use hand weights or resistance bands, minimum once a week, upper body, minimum once a week, lower body. These are just basics. Okay, there's other people who go all out. They're in the gym every day. You know, they've got a routine for, oh, this is arms day, this is legs day. You know, that's on the much fitter end of the spectrum. I'm just sharing, basics here. Wow, do people still smoke? That right there, you'd want to stop that. It's not part of a healthy lifestyle. I've never smoked. Never will. Never have. Don't do any drugs. Only drugs I've ever done are sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. Those are the only drugs I have ever done. I have had aspirin. That is technically a drug. And I used to take antibiotics, but I don't anymore. I haven't had antibiotics in my system for many, many, many years. And yep, those are the only drogas that I have ever done. Sugar is the biggest drug. That will get you. But processed food, sugar is the main ingredient of most processed foods. How can you know? Read the ingredients label. Not the nutrition label, but the ingredients label. So these are the basics that I have shared with you here. But the physical side, it's only 7.2% of the whole thing. You got to have the right inner self programming. That's 92.8% of the ball of wax. Otherwise, it's easier to just keep eating. It's easier to keep telling yourself you'll change tomorrow. It's easier to keep telling yourself that Monday it's going to be different, or New Year's Day you'll finally get it together, or after the cruise, after the graduation party, after the birthday party, after the whatever, you're finally going to do it. You know who else talks like that? Addicts. Yeah. Hey, remember, this is Get Real, episode number 20 of the JoLynn Braley Show. I warned you weren't going to like it if you're not willing to get real with yourself. And I've also shared that I'm not speaking to you as somebody who has never had a weight problem, never had a food addiction problem, never had a binge eating problem or an emotional eating problem. I've had all that stuff. So I'm qualified to speak like this because I've been there, I've done that. All right. And this is Get Real episode number 20. If you don't get real with yourself and come out of denial, come out of delusion, come out of your comfort zone, how will you ever get to where you want to go? Because you cannot get to where you want to go by staying in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is where you live now. Your comfort zone is what breeds more yo-yo dieting. It breeds more struggle. It breeds more indecision. It breeds more excuses. It breeds more procrastination. Do you get what I'm saying? Does this make sense? So you really have to make a decision. What do you want for yourself? Where are you going to be a year from now? And it can't be a fantasy. I mean, you can fantasize, you can do whatever you want, but if you're seriously going to be in a different place with your head, your heart, and your body a year from now, you've got to make serious change now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, but now. Because what you do now determines what you will weigh tomorrow. It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show. This week's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is www.easyfunweightloss.com. Go to www.easyfunweightloss.com. There you will find an opportunity to grab my free ebook. You can get it right now. In it, you will learn 3 simple steps to start making weight loss easy and fun from the inside out. When I say from the inside out, that doesn't mean a cleanse. It doesn't mean anything that has to do with food. You'll learn more about how your inner world impacts your bottom line, which is your buttocks and your size of your pants. Okay? And you can get that over at www.easyfunweightloss.com. All right, normally this is where I would share the questions for you, but we already did that. So do you get what I've been sharing with you here? All right? I would hope that you don't feel comfortable hearing all of this. Because if you stay comfortable, you're just going to keep getting more of what you've already got. It is too easy to keep repeating what you've already done. In fact, your brain makes it easy. All right? Because your brain doesn't care. Your brain is all about helping you survive. Not thrive, but survive. So look it, you can hear my voice, so obviously you're breathing, obviously you're alive. You probably have a place to live, okay, because you've got the money to get this podcast. You probably have a phone, or you are listening on your computer. Maybe you're on fearlessfatloss.com right now, which is where you can find all of my podcasts. If you go to fearlessfatloss.com/blog, and actually, if you go to fearlessfatloss.com/category/podcast, then that'll give you all of my podcasts. And so you might be listening on your computer. But okay, so you've got money, you are breathing, you have a place to live, you can hear me, and you have a job or a career or a business. And it doesn't matter that you hate your body, you hate your weight, you hate yourself because you can't stop eating, and you hate yourself because you know exactly what you need to do to lose weight. You're sitting here saying to yourself, I already know what I need to do to lose weight. Yeah, I'm just going to do it on Monday, which is still the insanity, is still the madness, the mind madness. And your brain doesn't care. Your brain doesn't care that you hate yourself, that you're unhappy, that you feel like a failure, that you feel like because you can't solve this one problem, then it doesn't matter what other successes you have in your life. You're a failure. That's what you tell yourself, and your brain doesn't care because you're alive. You're surviving. So the reason I'm explaining this is because it's a lot easier just to keep doing what you're doing. So, you can listen to all of my podcasts and keep doing what you're doing, and you'll just keep getting the same results. You have to make a decision that you first of all, you have to have the awareness that you need to change. It's not the food that needs to change. You need to change. And then it will be easy to change how you eat and exercise and live so that you can do the only weight loss plan that works, which is a healthy lifestyle. Okay, but now when I talked about the healthy lifestyle, I only talked about 7.2% of it, which is the physical side of things. And more than likely, you already knew everything that I said when I shared those physical, the basics. Okay, whole foods, water, plenty of rest, portion control, small meals throughout the day. Oh, here's something I didn't share. Only put food in your mouth when you're physically hungry. Stop putting food in your mouth when you're physically full. That's really important. Okay? But when you're a binge eater, an emotional eater, a compulsive overeater, you don't eat for physical hunger. So that's another problem. All right. I've had clients who could not remember the last time that they had eaten for physical hunger. They could not remember the last time they had felt hungry because it was when they were a kid 40 years ago. That's what the eating disorders are about. They're not about physical hunger. Okay, so what I was about to say there to finish that up is that when I talked about the only weight loss plan that works, I shared the overview of the healthy physical lifestyle. There's another component to that, to living a healthy lifestyle. You gotta feed your mind every day with the right food for your mind. Otherwise, you'll just keep putting yourself at the bottom of the list. You won't live a healthy lifestyle, and you won't make change. Do you get what I'm saying? Is it making sense? So, hey, you know what? If you're serious about making real change so that you can actually live a healthy lifestyle and do it without it being any big deal, which means that You don't sabotage yourself. You don't get in your own way. You don't bring yourself down. You don't cheat on yourself. Okay? You don't do any of those things when you have the right inner self programming. If you want to get that programming fixed so that you can finally lose weight and keep it off, then your first step, you'll find that over at www.discovery-session.com. www.discovery-session.com. That's where you apply to get on the phone with me on a complimentary weight loss discovery session. And it's only for you if you're really serious about making core change. If you just want to say hi, head on over to my Facebook page, like the page, leave me a comment. Tell me how you like the show. Tell me if you have a topic suggestion. Okay? That'd be great. The show's Facebook page, you can find that at facebook.com, the JoLynn Braley Show. I think it's just JoLynn Braley Show. My main Facebook page is JoLynn Braley. So, yeah. The only weight loss plan that works is a healthy lifestyle, and you got to have the right inner self programming in order to do that healthy lifestyle without sabotaging yourself so that you can finally lose weight and keep it off. You get it? Making sense? Okay? And let's see, next week's episode, that will be episode number 87 of the JoLynn Braley Show, and the topic will be, why is it so hard to get motivated to lose weight? Why is it so hard to get motivated to lose weight? Well, I'll tell you right now, give you a hint, it's an inner self problem. But you can still tune in and listen to that too, because I'm sure that I'll talk about some other things also. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the kick-ass, amazing inner self diet, the diet that always works. If you work it, it doesn't work for anybody who doesn't work it. Just like anything in life, if you have a hammer and you want to hammer a nail, but you never pick up the hammer, it's not going to work for you, is it? You have been listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. This has been episode 86, Get Real episode number 20. And congratulate yourself for being willing to get real with yourself. Obviously, you have been willing to do that because you're still listening to my voice. I wish you your best life, living inside of your ideal body.